Hi, this is Tanya and it's Talk About It Tuesday. So today's topic is going to be about acts of service. So this past Sunday was Father's Day and we spent that time just spending time with my husband. So we didn't make it to church on Father's Day. But how many of you know that acts of service happen outside of the four walls of the church? Yes, you want to assemble together and worship together, but you also want to make sure that your heart and spirit is open to meet the needs of those that are outside of the four walls of church. So here we go. It was late in the evening on a Friday, so it was about 5:35. I rolled up to Sam's and they closed at 6, and I knew exactly what I needed, so I went into the store, got my stuff, scanned it as I went. But here's the story. After I checked out, I ordered pizza and a drink and sat down and I was eating. And as I was eating, I was people watching, which is one of the most fun things to do. And I noticed this gentleman, and he was doing something that I typically like to do when I'm trying to go in and get what I need and not spend a lot of money, is to shop without a cart. And so he didn't have a cart, but he definitely had a little bit more than what he could handle. So he was kind of flustered because the person that he was shopping with seemed to be taking their time and not in a rush. And I could tell that because he kept looking down at his watch like, gosh, would you hurry up? So eventually he put his things down on this stand and waited. And eventually that person that he was with came and they got the box and then they went outside. Nothing big, right? So it's now after 6 o'clock. I'm done eating. I get my Q card scanned on my phone and I'm going out to my car. I noticed the man from in the store was standing by the return cart section. Interesting. The parking lot's almost empty because it's after 6 and it is cleared out. And so I just found that to be interesting. So I just kept my eye on him. And I went and I unloaded my groceries, and by the time I was getting ready to return my cart, he was still there. He was talking to one of the cart attendants, but he didn't say anything to me because he wasn't directly next to me. So I noticed him, and so I just kind of, scanned the parking lot, and I noticed that there was a white car with their hood up. So immediately I'm thinking, what is going on? I'm always suspicious of people that I don't know. Although I'm friendly, I'm suspicious at the same time. And so I returned to my car and I was like, wow, okay, that car has their hood up, so maybe they need some help. So I got my jumper cables out of the trunk of my car, put them on the front seat. I was like, well, maybe they just need a jump. It's 100 degrees outside and it's hot. And so I drove around and it was the guy that was standing at the car. Now he never said anything to me, and it was the guy that was in the store that I made eye contact with. And so I drove up in front of the car and he was like, could you please not park here? We're waiting for someone to give us a jump. But what he didn't know is that I had noticed him asking people as they were coming out of the store, and apparently the answer was no because no one had stopped to give them a jump. So I pulled in front of him and he smiled when he heard me pop the hood of my car. And I took my cables and I got out, and we connected the cables, and he had cables. He was like, oh, you've got the good ones. I just got the cheap ones from HEP. Well, if no one comes to give you a boost or jump, it doesn't matter if you have expensive cables or cheap cables because you're still out of luck. But I just was thinking, wow, it's hot and I would want someone to stop and help me. And so I gave them a jump, and he was just like forever grateful and just saying thank you and how much he appreciated it. And it was really not much for me to do to lend a hand, to give him aid in his moment of need, to provide an act of service, knowing that I would get nothing in return from it. But the interesting thing for me was that he was asking everyone that he thought would give him some assistance, and he got a resounding no every time. And he didn't ask me. And here I am driving up and giving him assistance. This is a reminder that If you need assistance or you need help, don't count people out because of their sex, their gender, their race, their financial standing. Ask. You never know who God is putting in your space to give you the assistance that you need right in the time of need. And I probably wouldn't have thought anything else of it except for we made eye contact in the store. I saw him at the buggy cart and I was thinking, is he like, some crazy stalker type person? And then being able to help him was just an amazing opportunity to show love, kindness, and compassion. So if you are in a position to help someone, give them assistance. If you are in need of assistance, please don't feel, afraid to ask. Either they're going to say no, or they're going to be the one sent by God to give you the aid that you need. I'm Tanya, and this has been Talk About It Tuesday, and I just wanted to share with you an act of service. Until we have an opportunity to share again, be blessed and have a wonderful rest of your week.